Hi friends, it's Sarah from Ruffles and Rainboots.com. Today we're going to take a simple flocked Easter egg, give him some tennis shoes, and a Dollar Tree pillow hat. You heard that right. And we're going to make a boop cute spring gnome. Stick around. As always, please like this video so I know you're here crafting. So as I mentioned, we're going to be using a flocked egg. A lot of you have seen this from a previous video. A Dollar Tree pillow. And I'm going to use a piece of felt, the Dollar Tree Party Favor Booties. Just 2 of those. And then this is just some purple fur I got off Amazon. You can see they cut it with scissors, and look at that. Just pull all of that off and you can use it for stuffing in some other project. Or you can glue it to, I don't know, a cutout and have something furry. I gave it a quick lint roll because it was everywhere. We also need a white and black piece of craft foam. You can sometimes find that at the Dollar Tree as well. So I'm just going to take 2 strips of felt and cut them so that they're taller and longer than the circumference of these booties. And then I'm just going to trace this first one onto white. Do that twice. And then guess what? We're going to cut them out, which I am not going to show you. It took me just over 22 minutes to make this. So to give you an idea of time, if you are new to making shoes, it may take you a little longer. So budget about 30 minutes. So now we're just going to glue these on. And the only reason we're putting on this first layer is because if people poke it, poke the bottom of the shoe, everything won't crumble. So ask me how I know. You can put weight in here, but it doesn't matter. You can fill that with stuffing if you want before you tap down this little piece. And then we're going to repeat it for the other shoe. When we get to the shoe making part, I'm going to make one real time, and then the other one will just be really quick and easy. You can pause this video if you are doing a craft along. So once I have those on, I'm just going to give them a quick, again, this part doesn't have to be pretty. All of this is going to get covered up anyway. So make it as pretty or as not pretty as you want. So as I mentioned, this is just a 2-inch pile fur from Amazon. We're going to need an X-Acto knife and a nose of some kind. I'm going to use a 1-inch flat back or a half bead. So because my edge over there was kind of gunky, I'm just cutting off a couple inches and then eyeball measuring this, using an X-Acto knife to only score the back of that fabric, and that is the perfect way to cut because you'll see the beard in just a second comes away with no cross cuts for that nice long fur. This is real time. I'm not speeding anything up. If you have any questions about how this goes together, just let me know. Now we're starting the shoes. We just put the front of the booty with the foam onto the front of that felt and then just glue it all the way around. So you are covering up the bottom edge of that felt, but if you don't cover it up, don't worry, we're about to make a midsole that's going to cover it up anyway. If you want to know how to make a ton of gnome shoes and gnome boots, I have a pattern with so many. I made so many I had to make a part 2, all in the same pattern, totally available to you, and it uses a lot of recycled materials in case you have that need, but it also uses basic craft supplies. I'm just going to glue down this very front part here, make 2 snips right past the part of the fold, and then I'm just going to glue these into the middle. Now we're not going to weight these because it's not standing on them. We don't need to, so that's fine the way it is. If you want to make tennis shoes, you don't have to do this part. You can just glue in the pleated portions. But if you want to make quick little tennis shoes, we can just thread some white embroidery thread and go in and cross across the whole way. Now, I did not tie little bows in mine, but you can make the string a little bit longer and tie some bows. I actually had, you'll see in a second, my string came apart and I didn't have any wax, so I'm not going to try and tie a bow. It'll fray at the ends if you don't glue it or if you don't wax it. So as you can see, once I got one side in, I'm just going to thread the needle in the other side and go the opposite way, starting at the bottom and crisscrossing my way up. Easy peasy, right? Again, quick and dirty way. You can also go to the craft store and get a very thin, almost rope-like ribbon, and it also looks really good as shoestrings. All right, so I'm just going to double knot that and cut each of these 2 pieces off, and that is that. Now I'm going to glue down these 2 little pleats, adding glue in the middle and pressing them in. I've shared how to make these kind of little shoes before, and I get asked a lot, should you use them for standing gnomes? I don't think so, but my gnomes are a little bigger than some. If you're making small sock gnomes or if you're making really small cone gnomes, they're going to work. Just cover them with felt, decorate them however you want. So I cut 2 midsoles there, and now we're going to trace the whole shoe with the felt onto black foam. Cut that out. Again, I'm going to just skip that because you know how to make scissors cut foam, right? And then we're just going to glue on the midsole. Now I will say you have 2 ways you can do this. You can drop that midsole below the edge and glue on that black, or glue on the black first and drop the midsole. I like the differentiation, but whatever you'd like. Just be sure to start in the front. Try and get it even. Cut it off and line those up in the back. Now we glue on the little black piece. And now I'm going to show you a little hack that I shared in one of my patterns, and that was to create the midsole line. Now you can do this with pen, but I figured we had enough black on this, so I didn't want to make a black line, so I'm using a pencil, and I just put it on 2 differently sized pieces so that I could just turn the shoe and make a line all the way around. And then you're going to repeat it again. I'm not going to do this. We're going to put the base of the white on, the felt on all the way around. Then you're going to cut the excess off and then tap down the front. And we're going to push in the backs, make our shoestrings, which I totally just forgot that word, and then glue it all down. Again, super easy, super quick. These are like the 5-minute version of making tennis shoes. So again, trace the entire thing with the black foam, add the midsole, and then we'll add the black foam bottom as well. And in some of my patterns, you can add a little circle or a little star if you want. You can add a swoosh, just don't sell those things because those are trademarked. And then I add my pencil all the way around and move to the hat. So when I showed this in a different video, you guys were all like, I have that pillow. So you wanted me to craft with it, and I thought this was a good one to do. So we're just going to cut open the side, remove all the tags, and the stuffing in it isn't the most awesome. So we're going to use it and then toss the rest. Or if you like this stuffing, you can use it. I tossed mine, so you can't have mine. I'm going to now cut up. Actually, let's make the gnome first. I totally forgot. I did make the gnome first because I'm going to show you the easiest way to make a hat. After I glued on the top, I like the placement. Now I'm going to glue on the bottom. Again, it's the same front and back for this guy, so it doesn't matter. For the shoes, I wanted my egg to be standing and then put the shoes to just be like extra support. So my shoes are actually off the ground on some portion, which you can see in the final images and video. I just put them on, making sure that I had the placement where it could lean forward and get a little extra stability. I did hold those on, which I will edit out, and then I did the other one. Thank you for all the well wishes. Yeah, I've been sick for a week and the whole family has been sick. So I'm hopefully on the mend because, man, I like breathing. All right, so once we have that second shoe on, now I'm going to show you the easiest way. So, no, I'm not. I'm going to show you the nose. Look at me. It's like I forgot totally what I did here. Split the fur to the fabric backing until you can see a little bit of that fabric backing, and put a generous portion of hot glue on before you glue on a nose. It's going to give you the best adhesion. For the pillow, I'm going to cut up each side, leaving the top center portion connected just because it's easy. Up each side. Now this will shed like crazy because it is a very short pile and, to be honest, really thin fabric, and I'll show you that in a second. I'm going to put right sides together, and now I'm going to measure around the nose to where I want the hat to sit, and I'm going to basically use that same measurement, and I'm going to add a 1/2 inch, and then we're just going to cut up. You can cut 1 or 2 inches up. You don't have to have a drop back hat if you don't want to. I'm going to. So I just cut a little bit up, and now we're just going to cut a triangle, leaving about, I don't know, 1 inch maybe at the top, just because I'm lazy. And we know it'll flip out correctly, right? So there we go. Now this is a little uneven at first. I'm going to cut it to make it a little more even, but you can make a squiggly hat if you want. Let's make that a little even, where you zigzag the hat. you'll need a lot of stuffing, but it'll be cool. Because we're still on the wrong side of the fabric, I'm just going to go ahead here and flip up this brim. Again, this thing sheds like crazy, so you absolutely want to add a brim or a trim after adding a brim. And you can see I'll cut off that extra little, like, I don't know, serging. I don't really know what it is. All those pieces there, it's just not going to sit flat, so I'm just going to cut those off. I should probably wait till the glue dries because those are my nice sewing scissors, so fabric scissors. All right, now we're just going to glue up the sides. So I'd love to hear, are you already decorating for Easter? I actually finally figured out my plan for spring, and so I think I'm going to make it easy on myself and just decorate for spring, adding a couple of tiny, extra little Easter things that I can quickly make to put on my mantle. But I'm not going to go crazy. I've got a couple of tiered trays, but I'll probably change up my wreath on the front door. Maybe I'll make a little bunny ornament or something, but I'm gonna pretty much take it easy this year. I'm not sure if that's just because my sickness talking or the fact that it's already gonna be 90 degrees in Texas in February. That's depressing. Just FYI. So if you're sitting in snow right now, it could be worse. All right, I took a little bit of time to defuzz this just so it wouldn't go all over my house. Flip it right side out, poke out the top, and our hat is pretty much done. Now, as always, I'm going to tell you, use what you got. I'm using this Dollar Tree stuffing that came out of the pillow, just so I don't have to use any of my own. But I will say, watch when I put this on, you can see the blue right through it around this bottom. See that? It does it in the front too. And so I don't like that. And I didn't want to decorate it because I didn't want to cover up this cool scale pattern. So I just stuffed some extra stuffing down there. And because it doesn't have a wire, you can actually shape it just by fluffing the stuffing. Oh, say that 5 times fast. Fluffing the stuffing. Anyway, so I just tucked that up in there and pulled it down. Again, I did the front as well because you can see that. See that big blue line? No, we're not going to do that. We're not going to do that business. So I'm just going to pull this into smaller pieces. It helps it sit a little bit flatter, and then I'm going to tuck it up under before I glue down the nose. I did edit out waiting for that to dry, just so it's solid. Turn around to the side and then pull this down. I'm gluing on the double portion, so the brim we made, so that I don't glue my fingers to this thing because the fabric is extremely thin. And now all you have to do is really just decorate yours however you see fit. Whoa, got a little wild and crazy with the hot glue. But here's my little guy, quick and easy way to make shoes. I've been asked a whole bunch for that, and I really like that purple fur. Let me know what you think down below. I really appreciate you being here. Please like, share, and subscribe for more crafty fun. Look at he's so cute.